Hello, my name is Bruce Wilson. I am a real estate agent here in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm affiliated with Fathom Realty. My broker is Martha Hilton. And we have here Lori Harless.
Hello.
And Lori works for a finance company. And so we're going to talk about some of the opportunities for and options for financing.
Yes.
Now, I will have Lori give me links to all the institutions we're going to be talking about, and I'll put those in the description, and so we can go from there.
Okay, great.
Okay, now Lori, could you tell me something a little more about yourself?
Sure. I am Lori Harless. I'm with Guaranteed Rate. We're a mortgage lender here in West Virginia, and we are the second largest mortgage lender in the United States. So
Really?
We're super excited to be here in West Virginia, yes.
Okay.
I opened the first branch of Guaranteed Rate last May of 2023, so we're super excited that this is 1 year that we've been here in West Virginia.
Okay, good. Okay, well, first, I've heard people complain how it's, quote, impossible, unquote, to buy a house these days, and how younger generation will, quote, never, unquote, be able to afford a house. Now, on the other hand, I've heard it said that it's possible if you have an income and a pulse to get
Well,
financing.
There's a happy medium
Now, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I have the impression that the truth is somewhere in between.
For sure.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So buying a house can be challenging. It can be stressful and emotional, and there's a lot of different things that you have to look at. You have to look at your credit, you have to look at your income and affordability. So buying a house is sometimes seems like it's a very big task, but we try to make it simple, make it easy for you. We do have an online application that you can apply online, and I can pull a soft pull credit report for the customer.
Okay.
And that means that it doesn't impact their credit score in a negative way, which is a huge benefit for the customer, for sure.
Yes, I've heard of people who are applying for jobs, and of course, employers often will pull on applicants. And so many people have applied for so many jobs that it's impacted all those pulls have impacted their credit rating, so they can't get a job. Now, speaking of that, could you tell me something about why it's important to have a good credit rating and what you can do if yours isn't also that good to pull it up?
Sure. So credit score is very important when you're buying a house. You want to maximize your credit score. And if we pull a soft pull, I can look at the credit score and let the customer know what they need to do to increase that score, like paying down revolving debt. You want to make sure that you're not like out shopping for a car and shopping for a house, because if you have a lot of inquiries on your credit, that can definitely bring your score down.
Okay, what about like in the situation I outlined, that if you've recently had a job search and all your prospective employers have pulled your credit?
Typically, when an employer pulls the credit, it's not a hard pull. Typically, it's a soft pull. So it should not impact the credit score in a negative way.
Okay.
But there are instances if they did pull a hard pull that it would impact that score and could.
Okay, so it might be a good idea if you're interviewing to mention them that if you can, please do a soft pull.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Now, I'd have to talk to an HR person to see if that would be a good idea, but at least from your point of view.
Correct, right, yeah.
All right. Now, normally I tell people looking to finance a real estate purchase to go to whatever bank or credit union they normally use. Now, however, there are finance companies like the one you work for. What are the advantages to going to someone like you than to one's own bank or credit union?
Right, it's always a good opportunity to look around and shop around and find that best product for you, the best rate, and the best program that's out there. So the benefit of going with a mortgage lender like myself and Guaranteed Rate is that we offer competitive rates, and we also offer programs that aren't offered by some of the local banks. So a customer could potentially qualify for a house if they call us, where they would potentially be denied at a different institution when they applied.
Okay. Yes. Now, the last time we had an attorney here who was talking a little bit about some seller financing options like lease purchase or contract for deed.
Right.
And but of course those are a little outside your wheelhouse.
They are, but sometimes I actually have a file right now that I'm working with that they had a lease for purchase. It was like a land contract. So it's treated a little bit differently, but not too terribly differently. We're treating it as a purchase because the deed didn't actually transfer in their name. So there's lots of different options that come up, and I've been doing this for 30 years, so I've probably seen the same scenario, so hopefully I can navigate the right decision for the
That's
customer.
good. Okay, now West Virginia has the highest proportion of veterans compared to most other states. I believe it's the highest in the lower 48. The only jurisdiction I think that has higher is either Guam or Puerto Rico.
Okay, good. That's awesome.
So when you tell me about the VA loans.
Okay, well, we love our veterans, and May is actually National Veterans Appreciation Month, Military Appreciation Month, I should say. So it's a great time to honor our veterans. And with the VA loan, they qualify for no money down as long as they've had enough time in the service. And I can help them with their DD-214 pull a certificate of eligibility. So to let them know whether they qualify for a VA loan, whether they have enough benefits for it, and then also on the qualification side. It's a great option for a veteran to get in there with little money down. We also offer a VA renovation loan. So sometimes when you as the realtor are making, the offer, the seller sometimes will be hesitant to accept a VA contract over a conventional contract because VA is a little bit more particular on the property. But with our VA renovation, that offers solutions for the buyer and can put the seller at ease that some of the things that come up can be financed in.
Yeah, I mean, around here we have a lot of houses that are basically structurally sound, but have gone through a period of, shall we say, benign neglect.
Right, they need a little love is what I call it.
Right. So that might be a good option for someone to who wants to get a house that may not be as nice but has potential.
Correct, yes. And with our VA loans, we also offer no lender fees. So they can save a lot of money typically whenever they choose guaranteed rate.
Yes. Okay. Now, Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Department of Agriculture, they also have options. Could you tell me about those?
Sure. So at guaranteed rate, we do offer USDA loans. So USDA loans are 100% financing for customers that are purchasing in areas that they serve in different counties. The property needs to be located in a specific area to qualify for USDA. And I can send you that link so that the customers can look and see if they're purchasing a home in a USDA eligible area.
Okay.
And it is no money down again, and it's a great option. It has lower mortgage insurance than some of the other low down payment options.
Okay. And what about HUD?
So we do housing and urban development and FHA loan. We do offer that as well. It's 3.5% down. There also is a West Virginia Housing Development Fund loan out there as well.
Okay.
Right now they've suspended it in May, but it's supposed to be coming back up with more funds towards the end of the month.
Okay, that would have been my next question about state loan programs.
Right, yeah. We at Guaranteed Rate are not offering West Virginia housing bond loans at this moment, but we're working on trying to get approved for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a great
All right.
program.
But I will put up a link.
Yes, for
Anyway.
sure.
Okay. Now, if one has paid off one's mortgage or nearly so, sometimes refinancing is a good idea.
Right.
Now, I was recently at a continuing education for realtors where a financing person from another company was talking about what a wonderful thing it was to refinance. Now, I was always brought up that the idea was to pay off your mortgage as quickly as possible so you own your home free and clear.
Right.
And so the talk about continuously refinancing is sort of counterintuitive to me.
Right, for sure. There are times that it's a benefit, though. I mean, if you have a customer that has credit card debt at 29% interest and mortgages are at 6.5%, then it does make sense for them to tap into their equity and pay off revolving debt or either other installment debt. Maybe they've had some illness or sickness in the family. They have other bills that they've incurred that they need to consolidate, and use that equity and let it work for them.
You know that the number one cause of personal bankruptcy in the United States is medical bills.
Correct. Yeah.
This is not true of any other industrialized country.
Right.
Because we're the only one that doesn't have some sort of national health program.
Right, for sure. It definitely can put a strain on a family if you have any type of illness, because usually there is, loss of wages and things like that, which that can then rack up credit card debts and different things that could cause a financial strain once they're back to work.
Right. Okay, getting to that, about home equity loans for older people. West Virginia has one of the highest average ages of any state.
Okay.
I believe only Florida is the higher.
Right.
So can you tell me about these equity loans? I understand that you can either take out a line of credit or get a lump sum or even an annuity.
So we can do, it's called a reverse mortgage. Whenever, after you're over 62 years old or older, you can get a reverse mortgage where you tap into the mortgage, tap into the equity that you have in the home. You can use it to pay off debt or invest in the stock market, whatever you want to use that for, or to pay off your existing mortgage. So if you retire and you're finding that you're financially strapped, then you can then apply for a reverse mortgage and pay off your mortgage and not have a mortgage payment. So it really
Yes.
makes a big difference.
My aunt did that. I'm not sure whether she took a lump sum or an annuity.
Right.
But she had extra money over her last couple decades of life, and more importantly than that, my cousins did not have the headache of trying to sell the house.
Right.
I wasn't in real estate at that time, and it was in another state. Otherwise, I could have helped them. But still, that is a point too. All they had to do was to go through the house and decide what they wanted of her things, then have an estate sale, and then just hand the keys to the bank.
Right. Well, with the reverse, you can pay it off. You can put it on the market and pay it off just like any other mortgage. So there's been a lot of controversy about reverse mortgages, to be honest, but it's kind of interesting. Done a lot of classes about, like, instead of tapping into your 401k and the investments, tap into the equity of your home. And it'll make those investments last longer for those that are left behind and for yourself, because you've spent all the time saving all that money all your life.
Right.
And so, you don't want all that to dwindle away. So it can be an investment.
Of course, it's not
tool.
for everybody, but nothing is.
Right, exactly. It's not at all. But
everything is its upside and its downside.
For sure. I think it's a great investment tool. I think it's something that we're going to see a lot of people that are more interested in the future, because let's face it, a lot of people used to have pensions, and nowadays most companies are not offering pensions when you retire. So Social Security may not be enough.
Of course, rolling your IRA and 401k into an annuity, that is functionally a pension.
It is, yes, as long as you saved.
Right.
As long as you chose to save along the way, for sure.
Right. I used to do income tax with H&R Block, and I would always advise my clients to put as much money into an IRA or 401k as they possibly could.
For sure, definitely. And it helps you with the tax advantages along the way.
And if they have kids, into a 527.
Yes, for sure.
That's a little outside the scope of this video, but a 527 is sort of like an IRA, but it's to save for college for a kid. Every state has one, and if you have a kid, it's a good investment for their future.
For sure.
But again, that's a little bit outside of our...
Totally different subject. We can do that another day, right?
Perhaps. But in any case, is there anything else that you think the viewers would need to know or want to know?
Well, I think sometimes when people start thinking about buying a house, it can be overwhelming and scary. So don't hesitate. Reach out to somebody and talk to a couple different people and get some options to see what's out there, because you never know. You might be ready to buy a house now instead of waiting. And if you wait for a year, that house is going to be, price tag is going to be more expensive in 1 year than it is today. And if you get a higher rate today, the rates can always be refinanced, but you're going to be able to buy the house at a better bargain. So I think it's a great time to buy a house, for sure. Right.
Well, the first and last rule of real estate transactions is always everything is negotiable.
For sure.
So, well, thank you very much for taking the time to come in.
Thank you for having me.
And I will look forward to being able to put the video up, and then we'll go from that.
Okay, great.
All right. I will put up Lori's contact information, my own contact information, and the links to all the websites we mentioned. And if you have any questions, you can either email me or you can email Lori.
Yep. We'll be available.
Okay. Thank you.
See ya.